How did Marx's communism differ from real-world regimes? Imagine a society where everyone shares everything equally, and no one owns more than anyone else. That's the idea behind Marx's vision of communism. But how does that compare to what actually happened in countries claiming to follow Marxism? Let's look at the differences. Marx's version of communism was a society without classes or states. All property and means of production would be owned by the community, not individuals. People would work according to their abilities and receive what they need. The goal was to eliminate exploitation and create a society where wealth was shared fairly. In this ideal, the state would eventually disappear after a transitional period where the working class, called the proletariat, took control to dismantle the old ruling class. During this phase, the government would control money and credit to reorganize society. Once the system was set, the state would wither away, leaving a truly free and equal community. Now, contrast that with what actually happened in countries like the Soviet Union or China. Instead of the state fading away, it became more powerful and controlling. Governments built strong bureaucracies to manage the economy and society. Private property was abolished, but the means of production were controlled by the state, not by workers or communities. This led to a small ruling elite, often called party leaders, holding most of the power. Class differences persisted in new forms, with party members and bureaucrats enjoying privileges that ordinary workers did not have. Economies faced shortages, inefficiencies, and restrictions on individual freedoms. Instead of a stateless society, these regimes stayed in a state-controlled phase for decades. Marx himself did not give a detailed plan for how a perfect communist society would look. He believed it would develop naturally through history, driven by class struggles and technological progress. This openness allowed different regimes to interpret his ideas differently, often straying from the original vision. Many critics see these real-world regimes as distortions or failures to fully realize Marx's ideas. They argue that these governments focused more on maintaining power than creating a classless, stateless society. The core idea of Marxism remains a society where exploitation ends and human needs guide production. But in practice, many regimes ended up with strong states, privileged elites, and economies that didn't match the original vision. So, while Marx's ideas aimed for a society of equality and freedom, actual regimes often became more about control and hierarchy.